Trump's new tariffs have disrupted the whole global economy. Many assume the recent market bounces mean everything is back to usual. But what if that's just the calm before the storm? What if all of this was just a dry run of an even bigger crash on the horizon? And what if after all of these years, America could lose its seat as the global economic kingpin? You see, for the past 300 years, there have been more than 200 countries in the world, yet only one is actually important economically. They have corporations that are worth more than most European countries. They spend so much on their military every year that they could buy 52 countries and still have 397 billion left over. There's no denying that USA has dominated the whole world, but with any great empire, they all eventually fall. You've seen it, right? How just about everything seems to be getting worse in the West. The average American is suffering. Groceries cost twice as much. People are barely able to afford their car loans. Their monthly mortgage payment has skyrocketed. The middle-class American is getting slowly strangled, but still, many think it will get better. But what happens if it doesn't? And what is the cause of the decline? For certain, inflation, politicians getting rich, meme coins, and tariffs all take their part. But there's one thing no one seems to be talking about. Look, I'm an American patriot. My parents immigrated from Iran, and I love the West because it's the very foundation of freedom and liberty for the whole world. But I've been in finance for enough years and made enough millions to know that there's always signs before a collapse. Right now, those signs are flashing brighter than Las Vegas on a Thursday. What I'm going to have you see here will either make you mad and pissed off or rich. But the matter of fact is that America is broken in three: the right, the left, and the ones smart enough to know that no one is ever coming to save you. Who do you think the richest are? The ones focused arguing on X about who can fit into which toilet? The people spending 6 hours a week looking at some dumb political podcast? Or the ones who know that the markets don't care about your feelings, that the politicians will always get richer, and the global markets don't give a darn for your patriotism or allegiances? The US could lose its global seat. And when it does, there's only one winner. And that's potentially China. The S&P 500 is falling like a global trade war just kicked off. And the ones betting against it want it to be as high as possible so they can ride the wave down. Oil prices are crashing. OPEC has announced plans to increase oil production starting in April. This decision to boost output has raised concerns and potential oversupply in the market, exerting downward pressure on prices. Gold is ripping.
Well, maybe the biggest sign the sell America trade is on as investors unload U.S. Treasuries and the dollar. Gold hitting its 24th record of the year.
Now the precious metal is reaching all-time highs.
This move higher in gold has been building for quite a long time, and actually many of the points at which the market and many analysts have thought it's peaked, it's been able to carry on rising.
If China and other countries are investing heavily into gold, you know that the USD is about to take a big hit. But when you know the US is also investing in it, hey, they're betting against themselves. Bond prices are rising. What is a bond? It is basically when a government or a big corporation says, hey, loan me money, I'll pay you back later with a little thank you tip. The higher the bond price, the lower the yield, and that usually means rich people are running scared and parking cash somewhere safe. But then there's tech stocks. Yeah, they're falling faster than an Amish guy's trousers on wedding day. But why? What is everyone missing? Recession, inflation, war, AI takeover, the darn Terminator. The answer is yes, all of it, all at once, and all of them ready to destroy your career as you're not paying attention. You're getting smoked on all sides. Your 401k is taking your attention. The current crazy thing in politics is taking your attention. Heck, you're even counting how many homeless people are at the crossing on your way to work. Everything is built around taking your attention from all of these problems. And as you're counting tenths, China is quietly setting itself up to win the century. China filed almost 3 times the number of AI patents as the US, and that was just in 2022. According to WIPO, the US has only 6,276 total AI patents, while China has over 38,000. But AI isn't the only area. In 2023, China just filed 1.68 million patent applications, while the US has 568,000. And the US media, they're running the same old script. China steals technology, China can't innovate. Yeah, okay, so why are they running laps ahead of us on AI? It's almost like the smear campaign started as soon as China actually became a threat. And now, even Trump won't say China should not take Taiwan by force. You hear that? The guy famous for talking trash about everyone. I support Trump, I'm just saying. Is suddenly saying and choosing his words very carefully with Trump. Trump is saying, I have a great relationship with Xi. We want China to invest in the US. The US will invest in China. So while Americans are arguing about the Super Bowl, TikTok bans, and why Orange Man bad, China is laser focused on building their global empire through AI dominance, resource control, and supply chain chokeholds. The most terrifying thing, nobody is even trying to stop them. Why? Because nobody can. So, what to do? Even amateur investors are diversified. Maybe it's the NASDAQ, FTSE 500, gold, and silver. But even most experts are sleeping on the biggest opportunity, not just to keep the buying power, but to increase it. Investing in Chinese markets is the biggest opportunity for diversification this millennia. Look, China doesn't just have 4x larger a population than the US. It basically owns a whole continent. In Africa alone, Chinese firms fully own 8 and hold majority stakes in 3 lithium mines. The US only owns 2. It's the same with all mineral mines. China owns the vast majority of them in Africa. So when the prices of minerals go up, it's not Africa that benefits, it's not Europe, and it certainly isn't going to be the US. It all goes straight to China. But in this race of superpowers, the biggest geopolitical baton was just handed over to China by the US willingly with US aid. Whoa, no way, Nima. How is US cutting millions in foreign aid to parties and LGBT parades? It's simple. If you take something away, something or someone replaces it. Think about an ex you once loved. Once they gave you everything, but now they're so irrelevant, you can't even remember the last time you thought about them until just right now. These holes in aid need to be filled by someone, and the CCP is filling basically all of the holes to make certain these schemes keep running. But as with any disruption in your career, disruption brings volatility. Volatility is opportunity, and when normal people panic, we don't. When prices swing, we trade them. Plain and simply, you've learned that the US has a broken economic pipe, slowly leaking water into the whole economic structure of America. Slowly but surely, the mold builds up. The wood in the structure deteriorates until slowly but surely the whole home needs to be rebuilt from the ground up. As a husband and a father myself, do you really want to keep your family at risk by staying in that home? Do you truly think that it's worth the risk? Of course not. Especially when it's so darn easy to diversify into another neighborhood that's structurally sound. Leaks are fine if you catch them early and either repair them or if you get out. But with the US debt getting bigger to an all-time high every single second, it's like having a mortgage on that mold-infested home that increases by 2.5% every month. It's a bad deal. The good news, you don't have to accept a bad deal. You don't even need to know Mandarin to diversify. We even teach you how, inside of my community, you're not just seeing this happen, you're getting trained on how to make money from it. And if you want to see exactly how we're trading this chaos and volatility, China's moves, how the US comes back, AI plays, even our gold, oil, crypto setups, we're having you see everything. Smart investors have their second home waiting for when disaster strikes. It's time we get you out of that mold and into the gold. Click the link in the description and join now.